If you're over 60 and constantly tired, out of breath, or feeling weaker by the day, please don't brush it off as just getting older. Sometimes, what feels like normal aging could actually be your body warning you about something much more serious, like anemia. And catching it early could make all the difference. Anemia is not just one condition. It's a serious blood disorder that means your body isn't getting enough oxygen because your red blood cells are too low or too weak. And yet, it often creeps in quietly, with symptoms that mimic simple aging. That's why in this video from Golden Aging Health, I am going to walk you through 3 specific anemia symptoms that many people over 60 mistake for just slowing down. These signs are often overlooked, but recognizing them early can save your life. Before I jump in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Golden Aging Health, your trusted source for science-backed senior wellness tips. Now, let's dive into the first warning sign, one that many seniors brush off as harmless fatigue, but it could quietly signal that your blood isn't delivering enough oxygen to your brain, muscles, and vital organs. Sign number 1. Cracks or sores at the corners of the mouth. It may seem like a minor nuisance after all. Who hasn't had a dry lip or sore corner of the mouth now and then? But persistent cracks or sores at the edges of your lips may be one of the earliest signs your body is struggling to make enough healthy red blood cells. According to a clinical review in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, older adults who present with angular cheilitis, that's the medical term for cracking at the corners of the mouth, are significantly more likely to have iron deficiency anemia or vitamin B12 deficiency. Why? When your red blood cell count drops, your skin, especially around soft, moist areas like the mouth, becomes thinner, slower to heal, and more prone to infection. Saliva can build up in the corners, creating the perfect storm for irritation, bacterial growth, and painful splitting. These aren't just dry lips. This is your skin saying, "I don't have the oxygen or nutrients I need to repair myself." A 2020 study published by Harvard Health found that up to 23% of people over age 65 have vitamin B12 levels below normal, often without any other obvious symptoms. What makes this especially easy to overlook is that most seniors treat it topically. They try lip balm, Vaseline, or even antifungal creams, when the real issue might be circulating deep inside their bloodstream. Let me tell you about Martha. She's 73, a retired school librarian, and one of those warm, dependable. For years, Martha was full of quiet energy, always helping, always smiling. But last winter, something started to change. She began noticing these small, painful cracks forming at the corners of her mouth. At first, she thought it was just the dry air. She put on some lip balm and moved on. But the cracks didn't go away. In fact, they got worse, splitting open whenever she smiled or tried to eat something warm. Within weeks, it started affecting her confidence. She tried every cream in the medicine cabinet, petroleum jelly, antifungal ointment, even a vitamin E stick. Nothing worked. Finally, during a routine checkup, her doctor looked closely and asked a simple question. "Have you been feeling more tired lately?" She had. In fact, she'd been needing 2 naps a day. Her doctor ran a full panel of CBC, ferritin, and B12. The results came back clear: iron deficiency anemia, and a severe vitamin B12 deficiency, the real cause behind those cracks, and the creeping exhaustion. So what can you do? Ask your doctor for a CBC, serum ferritin, and B12 test, especially if you've had recurring mouth sores or fatigue. Increase foods like spinach, eggs, tuna, lentils, and fortified cereals. Many seniors who take metformin or acid reducers, like omeprazole, may not absorb B12 properly through pills. In these cases, doctors often recommend injectable B12 for better results. Have you ever noticed cracks at the corners of your mouth? Did anything help, or did they keep coming back? Share your experience in the comments. Your story could help someone else find the real cause behind a symptom they've been ignoring. Don't go anywhere. The second sign might show up in your fingertips, even if the room feels perfectly warm. Sign number 2. Cold hands and feet even in warm weather. Cold hands, cold feet. You might chalk it up to poor circulation or just being older, especially if your house is cool. But when your extremities are freezing even when everyone else in the room feels fine, it's time to pay attention. Persistent coldness in the hands and feet is a classic sign of anemia, especially in older adults. Why? Because your red blood cells aren't carrying enough oxygen to the farthest parts of your body. Many seniors misinterpret this symptom as a circulation issue or even nerve damage. But what's really happening is your body is rationing its limited oxygen supply. It's a survival response, and it often goes unnoticed until things get worse. A while ago, I spoke with Luis, 68, a retired mechanic from Arizona, the kind of guy who could fix just about anything and still wore his old work boots like a badge of honor. You'd think someone who spent decades working in hot garages wouldn't mind a little chill now and then. But in the past year, Luis started doing something odd, wearing thick socks all the time even in the middle of summer. His family teased him about it at first. It's 95 degrees outside, and you're bundled up like it's Christmas. They'd laugh. He laughed too. But inside, something felt off. His hands were always cold. His toes tingled at night. And lately, he'd get winded just walking out to check the mail. It was his daughter who finally said something serious. One evening, she noticed his fingertips looked pale and bluish, even though the room was warm. That's when she insisted he get checked. The blood work told the real story. Iron deficiency anemia. His red blood cells weren't carrying enough oxygen, and his body was rationing what little it had, pulling heat and circulation away from his hands and feet just to keep his organs going. Stories like Luis's are more common than you'd think, and science backs them up. According to the Mayo Clinic, when oxygen delivery is compromised due to anemia, the body naturally reduces blood flow to non-essential areas like the fingers and toes in order to preserve brain and heart function. That's why cold hands and feet are often one of the earliest physical signs that your red blood cells aren't doing their job. Here's what you can start doing today. Start by paying attention to signs like cold fingers or toes, even in a warm room, tingling, numbness, or a dull ache in your hands or feet, pale or bluish nail beds. Then, talk to your doctor. Could my cold hands be related to anemia or low hemoglobin? Request a CBC, ferritin, and iron panel to check your red blood cell health. Noticed cold hands or feet that just won't go away even when it's warm? Share this video with the seniors you care about. One simple step could help them catch the warning signs early and get the help they need just in time. The final symptom might seem like just another part of getting older, but underneath, it could be something much more serious. Don't miss this. Sign number 3. Pale or yellowish skin, especially around the lips and eyelids. There's something the mirror can tell you even before a lab test does. And for many older adults, that first clue shows up in their skin. Paleness, not just general fair skin, but a washed out or dull appearance, especially in the face, lips, eyelids, and nail beds, is one of the most classic signs of anemia. In some cases, the skin takes on a yellowish or sallow tone, especially when anemia is caused by a vitamin B12 or folate deficiency. According to the Mayo Clinic, this occurs because red blood cells, or the lack of them, directly impact how oxygen and nutrients are distributed to your skin tissues. When your body is short on hemoglobin, it's not just your energy that suffers. Your complexion fades because the blood is literally less red. Think of your skin like a canvas. Without enough healthy red cells flowing underneath, the glow disappears. Margaret, a 70-year-old painter, began noticing something strange during her morning routine. Her lipstick looked too bright, not because the shade changed, but because her lips looked colorless. Her eyelids were pale, her cheeks dull. At first, she assumed it was just the lighting, or maybe her skin was dry. But over the next few weeks, her reflection began to look more faded. Her lips were pale, her lower eyelids lost their healthy pink. Even her cheeks looked almost yellow. She mentioned it in passing to her doctor during a regular checkup, almost as an afterthought. The doctor took one look and ordered a full panel of blood work. The results? Megaloblastic anemia, caused by long-standing vitamin B12 deficiency. Margaret's story isn't rare, in fact. It's a well-documented clinical pattern. According to data from the National Institute on Aging, nearly 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 who are diagnosed with anemia show visible skin-related symptoms such as paleness or yellowing. These changes are especially noticeable around the lips, the inside of the eyelids, and the nail beds, areas where reduced blood flow and low hemoglobin levels reveal themselves most clearly. For many seniors, these subtle shifts in color are among the earliest outward signs that the body is struggling to deliver oxygen efficiently, long before fatigue or dizziness even set in. A few easy things you can do to get ahead of this. Stand near natural light and gently pull your lower eyelid down. If it looks very pale or nearly white, bring it up with your doctor. Watch for fading color in the lips, gums, and nail beds, especially if combined with fatigue. Ask your doctor for a CBC and vitamin B12 level blood test if something looks or feels off. Caught yourself in the mirror lately, wondering where your color's gone? Drop the word skin in the comments below. What you say could help another person stop ignoring the same signs. Let's take a moment to review the 3 early signs of anemia that seniors often mistake for normal aging. Cracks or sores at the corners of the mouth. Cold hands and feet, even when it's warm. Pale or yellowish skin, especially around the lips and eyelids. These signs may seem subtle, but they're your body's early warnings that it may not be getting the oxygen it needs to function properly. And the truth is, you don't need complicated tests or expensive treatments to start paying attention. With simple blood work, a few diet adjustments, and regular check-ins with your doctor, anemia can be caught early and treated effectively. Found this video helpful? Tap the like button and subscribe to Golden Aging Health for more science-backed wellness tips tailored to seniors. And don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with a friend or loved one over 60. One small conversation could help them catch something early before it becomes serious. Want to keep learning? Check out our playlist, Senior Anemia, in the description below. It's packed with practical insights to help you stay vibrant, energized, and informed. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of your health, and we'll see you in the next video.